Hey, there was a caller who said they thought your van was suspicious.
What's suspicious about the van?
I don't know.
I am a bird truther, a person who doesn't believe in birds, and who's
Wait, he said bird truther.
part of a larger movement called the Birds Aren't Real movement.
So in America, there is a growing conspiracy that years ago their government killed all the birds.
It's a movement.
All right, hold up. I'm gonna leave this link up just so all of that's there. You know what I mean? Trying to save myself here from getting copyrighted.
Of people that want you to know.
All right, but for real, we're watching a video. It's called "The Truth Behind Birds Aren't Real: My Life Online," published by Vice, like an hour ago. I don't know what to expect, but let's get into it.
That birds are actually drones.
Also watching this with my girlfriend. She's in the back. She requested to be blurred out, so what can I do?
I mean, you don't really believe that that happened, correct?
Honestly, it's kind of offensive.
We do not find this to be a humorous issue.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
I guess if we're looking at numbers like TikTok and Reddit and Instagram and all that, probably 2 million people that follow us. But, you know, movements don't just exist on the internet, they exist in the real world. This is just shrouded in darkness for me. It feels like we're at the end of a chapter. I was basically playing a character much of my life.
Huh. So if Geico's 85, that makes you...
Are you asking if I'm 85 years old?
Sea turtles live to be 150, so... No, I was not.
Geico, saving people money for 85 years.
Right now I'm just traveling the country in this van, ready to go make a stand.
We're part of a movement that believes that every single bird in the skies is a robot. It's always beautiful to get to talk to someone and see the little...
I actually kind of think half of the birds in the sky are robots. I'm not playing. There is some truth to what he's saying. I feel like I've seen, just like he said, I've seen some videos on TikTok. I've seen some videos on IG. I haven't necessarily seen videos or seen it in real life, but that's the videos I've seen on TikTok and Instagram. It's like these birds that are flying in like in motion and they're staying still. Also, there's way too many birds.
Lights up in their eyes when they understand the truth for the first time, you know? Oh my God, watch what happens with Franklin.
Brandon!
Oh, he loves paper bags.
In there immediately.
It's his little trick. The day I met Peter was like the craziest day of my life, actually. He like just started talking about all this crazy stuff and he was just sitting with the Birds Aren't Real poster. He was just like so serious too. Like he was so serious holding this sign and we were just like, what is this guy doing? After that, like my whole friend group just like, we were obsessed with him.
They were very sweet friends to me.
It was just weird because it was like a day that like notably changed all of our lives.
My name is Peter McIndoe.
Welcome.
Birds Aren't Real has sort of made this community, and there's a bunch of like members of that community all across America.
Say, I don't trust the bird media. I don't trust the bird media. We're here because of a tragedy of 12 billion birds murdered by the United States government. How do you feel about that? Terrible.
Birds Aren't Real Cincinnati, Birds Aren't Real Chicago and Austin and Arizona. Everyone is coming together, all with their own signs.
It's fine. We want these politicians to come out and answer for their crimes.
The movement's pretty much made out of Gen Z. And I think that a lot of Gen Z feels madness.
The Birds Aren't Real movement will be holding a protest demanding that Twitter change
my God, what is
its
he
disgusting propagandist logo.
We will not stand for the swamp media.
Bro, babe. This is real though. There is an audience for everything, but does there need to be an audience for everything? Yeah, this is.
Trying to destroy our cause.
Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real!
Maybe you've seen the billboard near the Highland Strip or heard the story on Wednesdays Live at 9. A campaign called Birds Are Not Real brings its efforts to the Mid-South.
From 1959 through 2001, the government mercilessly genocided over 12 billion birds and simultaneously replaced them with surveillance drones in disguise.
I mean, you don't really believe that that happened, correct? This is a satirical campaign to make the point that what?
Honestly, it's kind of offensive.
Okay.
Ooh!
This is the
He
first
did
time that I've ever
not.
broken character in an interview. Yeah. And I've realized I don't know how to do it. Like, I have no idea how to be out of character on camera. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's been a really interesting experience. I have been playing a character for the past 5 years who believes that every bird is a surveillance drone and who's part of a larger movement called the Birds Aren't Real movement. I've been basically representing the movement, never leaving character, even in like behind the scenes conversations with journalists or anything. So this is a new experience for me. Birds Aren't Real started by accident in 2017. I was in Memphis with some friends. We all just like went around town. There was some protest happening, a rally. I'd always thought it would be funny, like just like a funny skit, if there was one like person there with a sign that had nothing to do with the unified message of the rally. Just like a poster on a wall that had like a white back of it and just took it off the wall. I just wrote like the 3 most random words I could think of, or the most absurd thing I could think, which was birds aren't real. Then took the sign and, you know, went marching around, telling people very passionately that birds aren't real. Then people would ask me like, well, what does that mean? The concept of it, I guess, was pretty much just made up in like 3 minutes. As I was doing that, the people I were with started just kind of taking videos.
Birds are a myth. They're an illusion. They're a lie. Wake up, America! Wake up, God!
So, how do you feel? Do you really think that like every single bird is an actual bird? You don't think that there's a possibility of having like maybe the government putting out like some
Surveillance drones or anything like that? You don't think that the government is putting out surveillance drones disguised as birds and putting them out there amongst other real birds? Say that out loud, babe.
No.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. We'll see if you change your mind by the end of this video.
Oh wait, hold up.
What'd you say?
I said, yeah, we'll see.
Okay, we'll see.
God! Birds are real! Birds are real!
I didn't even like know what satire really meant. Started doing Birds Aren't Real, and then people started kind of telling us what it was as we were doing it. This is just how it started.
See, that's exactly how fucking young
It wasn't like we
people
sat
think
down and like we're gonna make a satire.
They just adopt
it
an
was
idea
just
that's,
an idea put out into the world by accident. Yeah, for some reason a lot of people identified with.
that sounds cool and make it into their own.
The birds know your social security number!
Because I was just really fascinated with
that's
the concept of like a fictional character living in reality.
Birds charge on power lines. They're watching you and I every day.
From
See?
there, everything just happened really organically. Just kind of like a
That makes
snowball going
sense.
down a hill.
That
dropped out
makes
of
so
college,
much sense.
And
Wait, hold up.
moved to Memphis
Hold
to
up.
follow the energy.
Hold up. You actually don't think that birds
Could be charging on the power lines and then, being put out there as surveillance. How do you think Google Earth has so much information? Huh?
I know it's not the birds.
You know it's not the birds. Okay, we'll see.
That had kind of magically blossomed. Everyone was like, what are you doing?
Now the mayor heard we were coming, locked the whole city down. We're on their home turf!
We were really interested with the thought that social media
Not
kind
wrong
of
about
presents
that.
like a new way to tell a story. And that we're all watching these different stories all the time from these people that we know. And I follow 300 people, like I'm kind of following 300 stories. I was really excited about the idea of being this representative for this greater movement and building the story out underneath it and kind of taking the seed of this thing and like making a whole lore and history behind it and making it feel real. And then
You and me, partner. Center of town, high noon. Nope, Daisy's got last one lessons at noon. High 2 o'clock, that work? I got a spur fitting at 2 o'clock. How's about 3?
We don't need any more overscheduling, but we could all use more ways to save.
What about Tuesday?
And what I'm representing isn't just a guy with a sign anymore. There's like all this meaning behind it. This is Connor, who wrote the history on the website. He's one of my best friends. That's the thing about birds, is it really is like basically a family operation. So that's my sister Emily. We built this set in 24 hours in Little Rock.
Since the Eisenhower administration, the U.S. government has been committing genocide on the entire bird population and replaced.
Connor came in and ended up helping me write all the history.
How actually talented these people, these kids are, though. Like, do you see that? That actually takes a lot of skill.
Not even like necessarily skill, but just like natural creativity. I'm like actually captivated by what they did in 3 years.
Build out kind of this whole world. It's just a super small team.
I made the Vietnam War part of Birds Aren't Real lore.
Then Nick joined the team, and I work with Nick, to write the arcs.
There's 1,000 different ways we can extend this logic to make kind of a reflection of the times we live in.
We don't want people to actually think. I felt like that's why there's jokes in like the history.
There's winks. There's twinkles in the eye and everything.
Yeah, there's clear jokes.
There's always been a wink and everything. So we never set out to make an actual conspiracy theory. If anyone digs for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, actually watches a couple of the videos.
If anyone puts some thought into it,
yeah,
it's clearly
you
a
can
joke.
see what's going on. Yeah.
This is Birds Aren't Real. There's nothing more conspiracy than a conspiracy van. Literally, it's like, this information needs to get out so bad, I'm going to put it on my car. We like to tell people this is not what's actually going on. Way more complex.
That's outdated.
Yeah, way more complex technology. This is one of the first models. Somebody gave us this sign. More complex technology. That's not what's actually going on.
Hold up. They have a microphone, wireless antenna. Oh my God, camera for the eyes. A speaker. There's a CPU in here. There's a this it's gonna change your mind.
That's outdated.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, way more complex technology. This is one of the first models. Somebody gave us this sign at one of the rallies. It's not a funny matter. We have made these shirts. Connor drew this on his iPad. There was a certain point when enough people were buying shirts, like Birds Aren't Real shirts and the merch, that I could like quit my job. My first thought was like, okay, I'm not an idiot. This wasn't like the biggest mistake of my life. Ideally, the movement's not representative of any one person.
That's
it's representative
inspiring.
of lots of people. And the van was kind of meant to be a billboard that can move around. It can be a stage for rallies, and
literally
can take the idea anywhere.
Pause.
What were you saying earlier? There's an audience for literally everything. This is crazy. He started selling Birds Aren't Real t-shirts made from an iPad, and he sold so much of them that he said he could quit his job. That's so wild. That's
hats off to you, my guy.
I've been doing Birds Aren't Real for 5 years now, come this January. It's not something I want to do forever. Connor and I have been doing birds together for 5 years now.
17?
And about to go separate ways. Connor's going to Colorado, just kind of growing in different directions.
Hey, Colorado,
There's a
we
real,
just came back from Colorado.
Page turn to a new chapter for everybody, it seems like.
That's
From the first day that Birds Aren't Real became an idea, it felt like it was bigger than me. Birds Aren't Real has sort of made this community, and there's members of that community all across America. We've called it the Bird Brigade, which is like our boots on the ground activism network.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I run the Birds Aren't Real Triangle chapter here in North Carolina.
They'll make chapters at their own colleges, and they hold their own rallies. They teach the lore in seminars. We're visiting Brendan down in Arizona Like, I've never met him and had no involvement with his Birds Aren't Real chapter growing and forming itself.
Peter, bring here, man. It's so great to see you. I've been waiting for this moment, like.
It's truly an honor.
Absolutely. My name is Brendan Traxel. I'm the president and founder of the Birds Aren't Real NAU chapter here in Flagstaff.
How was the chapter when it began?
When it began, it was basically just me.
I too spent many a year alone.
Yeah. But now we got tons of people every time, consistent. It's the best feeling.
You guys ready to rally?
Let's rally it up, baby. Yeah, let's do it. See if I can squeeze in here.
You got it. What do you usually chant?
I'll do like birds, 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 and they say lies, lies, lies.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I've never used that. What would you say is the most important part of Birds Aren't Real to you?
Just the people power, honestly. People think it's hilarious. It brings joy to people's faces. Everyone in America knows things are kind of crazy. And I think it's an important place and movement per se to kind of bring back the humor that we kind of lost.
I'm very thankful that I was able to open my eyes to the truth.
Never trusted birds.
I've never trusted them. You haven't either?
No.
The spokesperson for the entire Birds Aren't Real movement, here we go!
Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real! How are we doing tonight?
Let me tell you this right now. The university doesn't want me sharing this information, okay? They came to me, they said, go up, say hi real quick, give the mic back to Brendan. And I said, okay, but you know what? I lied. Say, I lied. I lied, okay? Here's the truth. The United States government murdered every living bird from 1959 through 2001. Is that okay with you? Me neither. I hate it. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Do you want to be in a history book? Well, you're in it now. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on. Birds aren't real. Birds aren't real. Birds aren't real. Birds aren't real.
The movement's pretty much made out of Gen Z and millennials. Because I've asked myself, why are these people here? Gen Z specifically, these people that have grown up with the internet seem to understand it on a different level. In some ways, it's like its own language, and I think that a lot of Gen Z feels madness and lunacy. And I guess laughing at the lunacy or embodying it can be an interesting way to express what you feel.
That's true.
It's been a long journey to get to this point. It honestly feels kind of crazy that we're finally in the stretch between LA and Twitter. We've been on the road for a week now, just me and Nick. We are going to hold our next rally at Twitter headquarters, where we're going to gather bird truthers outside and protest demanding that Twitter changes their logo. It's sort of a protest of not only Twitter, but of this concept of brainwashing. We are gonna do some biblical shit with Twitter headquarters. We're gonna march around the building 3 times like it's Jericho to attempt to get the building to crumble down. This has been a long time coming, so it feels kind of surreal, ready to go make a stand. I mean, in a lot of ways right now, it feels like we're in the last chapter of the book. Connor is about to be doing different things. He's moving to Colorado, and Birds is no longer in character. It's growing up. And there she is.
We're walking this whole thing 3 times.
There's an alley right there that we cut through. So, I mean, it's still long. It's gonna be by far the longest march we've ever done. Each rally isn't just a rally. It's sort of this performance in and of itself. Fun part about that is that we have lore and history built out underneath it.
Immediately I'm thinking about we need to have water out here for people.
Yeah. It's like we're all walking around in this fiction novel together almost. So, feeling really good about tomorrow. I think we're just gonna have to show up and do it.
Huh. So if Geico's 85, that makes you...
So, are you asking if I'm
They said that they're gonna
85 years
march
old?
Sea turtles live to be 150.
This building
No, I was not.
3 times.
Geico, saving people money for 85
I
years.
don't know how legal that is.
Sometimes I'll travel in.
Can't you get arrested for public disturbance for doing that?
breathe the drone-free air.
This is so interesting. Just being out of character on camera at all is bizarre.
What? This?
It's just interesting. It feels vulnerable. You know, there's no vulnerability in being a character. So, a lot of vulnerability in being yourself. I was not expecting it to be as, like, personal of a thing, I guess. Yeah, it's been wild. Especially when these, like, photo albums came back from my parents. Admittedly, I've not looked at this in probably a decade. And is actually from when I was named Taylor, which was for the first 5 years of my life. And then when I was 5, my parents renamed me to Peter because they wanted me to have a biblical name. I mean, I grew up, homeschooled in a very hyper-conservative, closed-off environment. So I was kept from a lot of just normal media, was I'm not watching Superman, for instance, I'm watching Bible Man,
And
stuff
in a
like that.
way,
When I was
him
10,
being closed
actually,
off like that, I feel like made him
told my mom
more
that I was the
creative with
type of
finding
Christian that
himself.
didn't believe in God. And
I feel like
was
that's
treated
the
like
case with a
I
lot of
was
homeschooled
possessed by a demon. I'm talking about being 10 years old and having, people talk about exorcising you for saying that it's like, I don't really know about this flood thing, what? Or really the apple's the reason all the bad isn't, because it just didn't make sense to me, fundamentally.
Exactly.
And whenever I did have access to the internet, could,
He did something
access
a lot of
of
people are
proof
really
and
afraid
a lot
to
of
do.
context that was telling me the world was not really thinking this way. I love this picture. I need to recreate this, honestly. I think that's a hilarious picture. This is just shrouded in darkness for me, really most of this book. That's the thing, I don't even, really want to show too much of my family. That's something I couldn't even really talk about even to Madeline or my close friends until this year. It's a very vulnerable thing, it's weird talking about your family to anybody, so, or anything. That's why, I would even, haven't really talked about my family a lot, or anything like that, where really, if I'm getting down to it, that's really what a lot of it is about. Just to exist, and I kind of had to play a character that wasn't myself. I think that's kind of where it started, and I think it's kind of where my fascination with conspiracy thinking started. I think this is the character that I play because I just know this character really, really well. There's so many people like this in real life that I know, and what takes somebody to that point, of doing something like a bird truther and having an idea like that about these elites or these villains totally consume their personality and their life and their families and their jobs and everything. You can reposition yourself in your mind of I'm no longer the victim, I'm a hero. And I'm not only the hero of my story, I'm God's chosen hero. Myself and my friends and this small group of people, it's us against the world. I'm feeling pretty peaceful. How are you guys feeling?
I just want to make somebody laugh today. I want to hear some laughter. I think this is going to be a banger.
Yeah. It feels good. I think Peter and I have talked, we never wanted to do this forever. A lot of memories that we've made together, and we've literally been all over the country, and this is the apex of everything that we've talked about for a long time, so.
To start something new, there
Back
kind of
where
has
you
to
told
be
me
a
I
death of
found
what
it?
was. Natural change.
Right there. That's yours, actually. I just put my attachment. Yeah, that's yours.
All right, everybody, let's do 3 deep breaths in unison. Ready?
Yours is more sturdier than mine. Ah, you're taking it off? Why?
Welcome to Twitter Day. We're here.
It's more
Everyone will
stable.
have a very important job today, both during the day.
All right, hold up. My girl was talking about me taking off her attachment for her tripod so she can do her vlogs, which is, an acquired taste, if you know what I mean. If anybody watches this, go follow her. Her name is Acquired Taste on TikTok, and Nipun Saini on YouTube. 60 followers. I see that grow. Hey, post your shorts on YouTube. I saw you only have 6, and your views are not that bad. You got like some really good views on one of your shorts and likes. You have 41,000 on views on YouTube. It's pretty good. I just hit 500,000, you know what I'm saying, views on YouTube. But you know, you gotta start somewhere.
And during the
Clearly, if this isn't a testament of you gotta start somewhere, I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't know what else to tell you. Like, this man started by himself, literally as a joke, saying that birds aren't real, and look at where he's come. Look at where he's come to. That's crazy. It's not even crazy. It's just like inspiring.
All right, everybody, let's do 3 deep breaths in unison. Ready? Welcome to Twitter Day. We're here. Everyone will have a very important job today, both during the day and during the rally. Carter, you'll be driving the van. We need your LA driving skills. Your guys' job will basically just be people duty. Connor will be on the ground with you guys and will basically just be like directing. We need Eric to lead people across. Evan, you'll be leading the rally in front of Eric and I. Today, each of us will be the personification of truth, justice, and liberty. Are you ready? Woo! All right, let's go. All right, hands in the middle. 1, 2, 3, truth. 1, 2, 3, truth! All right, let's go.
So I've asked myself, why have I played this character for 5 years? I think it's because that was the story that felt worth telling and seemed to really become more and more of a reflection of America and a reflection of this feeling that I feel when I go on Twitter or that I feel when I walk outside. That lunacy, and embodying that kind of in the real world, yeah, seemed very worth.
Are you ready to march? After today, the Twitter logo will no longer be a bird. Birds aren't real! 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 Birds aren't real!
Look at the facts. Just look up online. I mean, this is something I think we inherently always knew, but it's about time that we actually talk about it.
I've never...
Let's take a look at
always knew, but look at the facts. Just look up.
Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real!
If it flies, it spies. Top right. That's crazy. That's a nice one. Wake up, birds aren't real. And then there's a Twitter logo. And then there's a Twitter logo with a do not enter sign and 2 surveillance cameras, which is pretty interesting. That's pretty funny. What else do we have here? I can't really read this in the back. Say no to bird surveillance. Oh my god. Alright, what else? What does it say? Birds are a communist hoax. Wait, look at this. Yeah. Look at. First of all, do you recognize any errors in this? This is actually pretty funny. This is probably yes.
Communist.
Yes. I think this is probably my favorite one. To be quite honest, this is probably my favorite one.
Look at the facts. Just look up online. I mean, this is something I think we inherently always knew, but it's about time that we actually.
True patriotism is anti-bird.
I mean, this is something I think we inherently always knew, but.
It's a bird, it's a plane, it's government surveillance. And they spelled it like the, what's it called? Schoolhouse Rock. That's so funny.
It's about time that we actually talk about it.
I've never met someone that showed up at a Birds Aren't Real rally thinking it's real, except for if they think it's real and they're not a part of the movement. Everyone is coming together, all with their own signs and all ready to like play their part.
They monitor all aspects of our lives. Sometimes you'll think about a product and then next thing you know, you're getting targeted ads on your phone.
Everyone's talking in character from
that?
the moment that you step onto like the rallies. Everyone's acting,
Also,
talking
about a product. Babe, visually, boom. This is how. All right, so hold up. Let me read this. Rate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. Okay, and I guess this is. I don't even know what this is, but this is a bird. Oh, and this is a drone. Oh, that's hilarious. Babe, all right, look. This is how they charge up on the power lines. You see? That is exactly how they charge up on the power lines.
One by one, all connected. Oh, and that's so cool. Look, it says birds aren't real. Babe,
you can't deny.
Monitor
I don't even
all
wanna hear
aspects of our lives. Sometimes you'll think about a product, and then next thing you know, you're getting targeted ads on your phone.
Everyone's talking in character from the moment that you step onto like the rallies. Everyone's acting, but there's been no conversation about it. Like there's no plan or rehearsal or huddle. It's like people show up and they know the role.
You and me, partner. Center of town, high noon.
That
Daisy's got last one lessons at noon.
honestly kind of scary too, because you
How's about 3?
We don't need any more
shows you could rally
overscheduling,
people
but we could all
for like
use more
literally
ways to
any
save.
reason,
Tuesday.
and they'll just have like a mob mentality. Look
I
at
really
this
want to
shit
wind up
is
on the Birds Aren't
fucking-
Real Instagram.
Oh
That's
my
really my
god!
only goal.
Think critically. iPhone, reject the narrative.
And I'm gonna be very honest about that.
We are here today to protest and make Twitter change their logo to the propagandist pro-bird brainwash imagery. Why is the Twitter logo a bird? Why? Because they're trying to brainwash you.
All ages.
The rallies
all
to me
types
are
of-
like a really
all walks of life.
clear, simple representation of what I like about the idea. A fictional character can exist in the real world, and the people in the real world are playing characters in the story, same as the fictional character, but they don't even know that just by being themselves, they're in the story. You know, they're in the piece.
Right now, we're about to march around Twitter headquarters 3 times like it's Jericho and take this building to the ground. Are you ready?
And what this building to the ground?
To the headquarters.
Story.
All right, listen,
You know, they're
listen,
in the
listen. This is
piece.
what they're gonna do.
Right now, we're about to march around Twitter headquarters 3 times like it's Jericho and take this building to the ground. Are you ready?
Okay, so they're going to march around Twitter headquarters and take this building to the ground, whatever the hell that means.
I'm watching guns. Oh, wait! I'm watching guns. Oh, wait! I'm watching.
We're all telling ourselves a story about our lives to ourselves. Everyone is doing that to some degree, tweaking elements of themselves to find that identity. I've thought of that about myself too with Birds Aren't Real. Birds Aren't Real has been my way to find identity and purpose and community. You know, just like a conspiracy theorist.
This is a good capstone to kind of place on this whole experience, and I think being out of character kind of allows us to talk about it and process it together. You know, we're brothers and we'll always be brothers and we'll always be best friends, but I'm excited to get back to that
At
because
the end of the day,
doing
I
this
feel like
together
this is
has kind of
something
put a strain on our, you know,
like,
friendship.
It's a new chapter.
Even though
It
all
is
of
a new
them are
chapter for
leaving
sure, and that's a good way of looking at it.
going
I
on
think
their
when I
own
do
separate
get
paths,
back
this
home
is
to
something
Arkansas, I will
that
miss
they
the
can look.
character. Because
Yeah, exactly, and this is something that they can look back on.
but like taking that feeling of
even when they
lunacy
decide not to
and like
do this anymore.
role playing it
and
like
just
laughing
remember
about
that,
it with
you know,
with people.
This is something that's going to keep them as
I
friends.
don't know. There's
for
something
sure.
that feels
For
sort of
sure.
healing about that to me.
And that's beautiful.
You're doing God's work.
Crazy, dude. Love you guys. Bye. Have fun.
That's dope. Anyway,
Let's
they're
roll.
ending.
But yeah, wow. On the other side of Twitter now.
this, So
I love Birds Aren't Real.
there we go. Video by.
How's it going? My name's Marsh4ll Lee. Welcome to
what's
my
it
YouTube
called?
channel. Today we're gonna be going.
Vice. This is my channel on the right-hand side. Check it out. Oh, this is my channel right here. Check it out. We just hit 600 subscribers, 601 subscribers. So we'll do another reaction video soon. Deuces.